Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by REVOLT Podcast Network. I'm your host, Wise Brissette, RPN Community Manager and podcast enthusiast. If y'all have listened to the pod at any point in time, you know that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this set, very much different. We are live in Texas, y'all. It is South by Southwest week, and guess what? It's lit up. So, first and foremost, before we go any further, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok at REVOLT Podcast Network, and of course, follow us on Twitter, formerly known as X. Y'all know, REVOLT Podcast with an S. Now, I ask you one quick favor. Please subscribe to Behind the Mic wherever you get your podcasts. I'm talking like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the whole nine. And please give us 5 stars, write a little rating. Why is it amazing? QUANNA looks great. Look at her hair. That pink CareFreeBlackGirl t-shirt on sale right now is fire. All right, we really would appreciate it. Now, enough about us. Today's guest, I am joined by the amazing QUANNA, founder of CareFreeBlackGirl Podcast, founder of CareFreeBlackGirl Lifestyle brand, producer of CareFreeBlackGirl, all the nine. But we here now today, live at South by Southwest. So QUANNA, first and foremost, thank you for coming. Let us know a little bit about yourself, you know, where you come from, all the things, please.
So I'm QUANNA. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I am a graduate of Clark Atlanta University. I am the oldest of 4. I am a member of Tau Beta Sigma Music fraternity. I'm a member of the Silver Breeze flag line. I lived in New York for some time. That's where I started my brand, CareFreeBlackGirl. It's a lifestyle brand that creates space for Black femmes. I'm in ballroom. I've been in ballroom for about 7 years. I love to dance. I'm an MC. I have been rapping, writing poems, being creative for as long as I can remember. Maybe wrote my first song at 10 years old. I wrote my 5th grade school song. That's like something I tell everybody. So I'm very proud of it. And yeah, I'm an artist in all forms. I am a leader in the CareFreeBlackGirl movement. And I'm also a podcast producer. I've been podcasting for about as long as I've been in ballroom, so about 7 years. Just wanted to help other people tell their stories. As a writer, as an artist, sometimes I have stories and things I want to create and I want to say, and they aren't always relevant to me. So been a podcast producer for 7 years, and yeah, just all around girl, you know, MC. Might see me on the mic or screen near you soon.
Active is what she's saying, y'all. Okay, so thank you for sharing a little bit about that. Now, I know on the podcast, we always try to figure out what our hosts are listening to, what QUANNA's a producer, but either way, our podcasters' favorite songs or favorite B-sides at the very least. Now, B-side tracks to me are tracks that are, you know, just as good as A-side tracks, but they're not singles, they're not hitting the radio. So, QUANNA, let me know. What's your B-side track of the week?
I'm going to go with Layla, Flyer Than You, since she just did a CareFreeBlackGirl Cookout. I know she's been performing Coupe de Ville more lately, so that would have been my first choice, but Flyer Than You is really cool. Yeah, she has some good tracks on her album. It's called Gap Year. Okay. And she self-produced it, she wrote it, wrote the music and stuff, so it's a good track.
That's incredible. And yeah, let me tell you something. I saw her perform at a CareFreeBlackGirl stage, put together by QUANNA. And let me tell you something. Fire.
I think she did really good too. She's been performing all week, and she says she's been kind of under the weather, but I feel like she did a great time. Especially, a lot of people are performing over tracks. They have background vocals, background singers, so I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, y'all. So again, like I said, you can find a B-side track of the week playlist on Spotify, exclusively on Spotify. Just search B-side track of the week. So now we know a little bit about you in front of the mic.
Yeah.
Now let's find out more about the person behind the mic. So let's start at South by Southwest, and we'll kind of backtrack here. So South by Southwest, this is what, like your 6th or 7th time throwing an event at South by?
Yeah, so this would be my 6th year. So we did 2019, we did 2021.
The virtual one.
The virtual one. We did 22, 23, 24, and yeah, 25. So this is our 6th year doing a stage at South by Southwest.
Official
stage with one of them being virtual. So if you go back to South by Southwest 2021, we're one of the only people that did a virtual stage. So feel free to check it out. That one was pretty dope too. So yeah, this last 6 year, it's been a really amazing time. South by Southwest for us is like one of those marketing things for the Carefree Black Girl Tour. And it's like one of those real opportunities that I can give to artists like myself. You know, a lot of us, we look for stages to perform on, people charge, they make us jump through hoops, write essays. So I just wanted it to be like a platform that I give to artists that was real, so that something that was like attainable, right? So really all people gotta do is perform on the Carefree Black Girl local stage. If you come out, do your big one, invite people out, Carefree Black Girl staff mess with you. When we vote at the end of the year, you get an opportunity to come through. You know, some people, even though they don't bring a lot of fans out, you know, they might just have a really good set and they stand out. And when it's time to vote, you may have like 5 out of the, 8 votes or whatever. So I always say like South by Southwest is like my reward to myself once being that artist, like having to pay and being able to like have a stage automatically, but also being able to give back to people that's like me in like a real way.
A leader, y'all, an absolute leader. You're starting, very much present day right now. But let's go back, so this term, hashtag Carefree Black Girl. Can you like explain how we even got there and how that, ties into what happened, this past week at South by?
Okay, so yeah, I have been using the term, calling myself a Carefree Black Girl since like 2008, 2009, when I first started like writing music and seeing that people had like personas online. And then I went on Tumblr and I saw that they had like Carefree White Girl, and I automatically assumed that they stole it from me. But then I saw that they had like the blog probably like a year before. So I started making my own blog with Carefree Black Girl. Like it was kind of like a mood board, like anything that I felt like, aesthetic board, anything that I felt like it evoked the Carefree Black Girl persona. And then around like 2012, I was graduating college, and one of my friends was like, oh, I was just on Twitter and I saw this people using this hashtag Carefree, the thing that you be saying all the time. And so by this time I had gotten to Twitter, and shout out to Zebra Blade. She must have just tweeted hashtag Carefree Black Girl that day. And that's what kind of like gave the name a push. And then after that, still calling myself Carefree Black Girl, still identifying with it, still using it to describe myself in music. So 2014 was the first year I was like, let's just start trying to see what we can do event-wise. I did like a small gathering. It was kind of like the Carefree Black Girl. I think it was like the Carefree Black Girl hangout or whatever. So that went well. It was a few people that came through. I was in Harlem at the time. We all hung out. And then like the next summer, I was like, well, I'm gonna have a picnic. And I was like, we gonna call it the Carefree Black Girl Picnic. This was 2015 year. So I had a picnic, and the picnic went good. And the next year, people were like, Quan, you need to do that picnic that you did last year. We gonna make a flyer and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So we ended up making a flyer for the Carefree Black Girl Picnic, as what it was. And then the flyer went viral. And then people were like going online saying, where is this at? And me not even realizing how huge Prospect Park is. I just had Prospect Park on there. No entrance, no nothing. DJ Amen did me a solid and made a map of where to go. We got to the spot, and I'm like, oh my God, nobody's gonna come. I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, frustrated. But still, like, my homie from work had took out the day. He like, I'm about to get on the grill. I'm about to start cooking. It's gonna be all right. I was like doing a video shoot or something too that day. But I look up, and it's like at least 100 people, maybe 200 people. I see Amen on his bike, like doing, and behind him, I see like all these people coming up from with him, trying to find where I was at. And that just was basically the beginning of the Carefree Black Girl Picnic, but it grew to Cookout. Within the next 2 years, 2017, we started doing A3C. That's what kind of gave us the space to expand. From the first Carefree Black Girl Cookout, even that day, I performed a song, somebody did poetry. So it's always been a space where people can come and highlight their music. People was braiding hair out there. Somebody was selling stuff. So it's always been a place for everything that it is now: performers, vendors, arts, creativity, and just community, honestly.
So from there, you were able to launch a national tour. You now had the podcast around that as well, too. So you're able to essentially take the narrative, the online narrative of what Carefree Black Girl now became. As someone that, probably the only person that I knew at the time that actually trademarked their brand, what would you say to that person that's like going viral now that they could do to just kind of like cement themselves to be able
trademark immediately trademark. If you feel like it's good enough that you want to keep saying it and that everybody keeps saying it back to you, trademark it. I have several trademarks for Carefree Black Girl, and I will probably be getting more. we rush to get LLCs, and we love the legal binding paperwork that says you have a business, but we want to get to the space as Black people where we protect our business names. And so think of an LLC like you parking a car in front of a house, right? But a trademark is like, I own that street. You know what I mean? So like I can make you move your small car off my street. You know what I mean? Like that's like having a house on somebody else's land. Right. It literally is, because like I could have Carefree Black Girl LLC, but if I don't have Carefree Black Girl trademark, then nationally the brand is not really as recognized. Like it may be recognized in that state, but nationally, like that brand name can be like, there could be Carefree Black Girl LLC New York, there could be Carefree Black Girl LLC Georgia, but now that I have my trademark, people can't really touch it. So in almost any area, no areas really, even things that are close to my likeness of my brand, I can come for that. So it's just things like that. It stops this copycat syndrome.
For sure. Okay. So y'all, you know, it's Women's History Month. We're doing a really fun game. So on the other side of this break, we're kicking it into overdrive with our rapid fire round of Shoot Did That, y'all, right after this. I've always wanted to have the opportunity to talk to each of you individually, and guess what? Now I can, thanks to FanList. You can now visit fanlist.com/podcast with an S and leave us a voicemail. Share your thoughts, your favorite moments, and even shout out a host that inspires you. Who knows, you might even hear your voice on the podcast. So visit fanlist.com/podcast with an S to get started. I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all. And we're back, y'all. Thanks for sticking around. Now we're kicking it into overdrive with our rapid fire round, a special Women's History Month rapid fire round of She Did That, y'all.
Okay.
All right, now, QUANNA, let me explain the game a little bit. It's super simple. I'm going to say a phrase like a woman who changed the game. And you just say the first woman that comes to mind. That could be someone from history, a famous person, or someone that you may even know personally. Sound good?
All right. Yeah.
So we're starting off in 3, 2, 1. Name a woman who's breaking barriers in her industry.
Currently, I will go with Megan Thee Stallion, Doechii.
Okay. Name a woman who empowered you growing up.
Whitney Houston.
Name a woman you're inspired by today.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Issa Rae.
Okay.
Through and through.
Name a mom that raises the bar for her kids.
My mom, I think my mom does try her best to raise the bar and do what she can. My mom had me when she was 16, and look at all I've accomplished. All her children, you know, either graduated from high school, have a GED, they're doing very well. My mom, I will go with my mom. Yeah, she raised the bar for her kids. Yes, for sure.
Nikki Pooh. Okay, we're all done. We're all done. Thank you so much for that, QUANNA. And again, shout out to Nikki Pooh. I'll tell you that her food be slapping.
Yes. Shout out to Pooh's Kitchen. If you ever in Savannah, even if you got to try to come over for a Sunday, make sure you get her food.
All right, so before we end this episode, what's one thing that you want people to know about you that they wouldn't get from knowing you online, you know, knowing the podcast, whatever, however you want to phrase that? What's the one thing that they wouldn't get?
One thing is that people don't know I skateboard. So I skate, I can roller skate, I skateboard for my mental health. I skateboard for exercise when I'm practicing my music or for my shows. Skateboarding helps. That's probably why I was a little winded on Thursday. I probably should have rolled my skateboard a little more. But yeah, that's one thing I think that people don't always see me do is skateboarding or skating. But like I skate pretty good. I don't do tricks, but I know how to skateboard.
So if y'all want to see some more of the skateboarding girl, was crazy. This was like, that's really the first time I really met QUANNA. She did have her skateboard with her. But in any event, if y'all want to learn more about QUANNA, where can they find you on socials?
Yeah, so all my socials are QUANNA MC. So that's QUANNA MC. Pretty much everything.
Yeah. And of course, like, where's Carefree Black Girl?
Yeah, so Carefree Black Girl, you can find us on Instagram at Carefree Black Girl Inc., Twitter, CFBG Pod, on TikTok, Carefree Black Girl. We do have a website. It's CareFreeBlackGRL, so basically girl without the I. All tickets to all of our upcoming events are on sale on Event Noir. We try to support Black owned as much as we can. Make sure y'all check us out on tour. We're going to a city near you. Most of the events will be cookouts, but some of them will be smaller events. So next stop is Detroit, and we're running all the way until the end of the year where we're going to have a trip to Ghana. Shout out to Afrofuture for partnering with us.
Let's get it. Okay, y'all. Well, listen, again, thank you for listening to a very special episode of Behind the Mic. We are live, y'all. First live episode, okay? I'm your host, Wise Gazette. You can find me at The Real Wise, W-I-Z-E, on Instagram and Twitter, formerly known as X, y'all. I'm internationally known on the microphone as Wiz, Wizzy, and Wise, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Behind the Mic, powered by REVOLT Podcast Network, is hosted by me, Wise Gazette. Special thanks to the Indie Creative Network and Storytime Studios for editing and producing this podcast.